When you're building a website, you have a picture of your user in your head, right? You see them clicking around, scrolling, doing all the things you designed for. But what if I told you that some of your most important users aren't people at all?
Hey everyone, and welcome to Call the API. Today we are talking to all you web developers out there. We're going to get into how the very bones of your website, its structure, can be built to serve two very different kinds of users: humans who use screen readers, and a whole new user that's showing up everywhere: AI agents. So think about it. You pour all this time into optimizing for the users you can track, the ones you can see in your analytics, but there's this entire other world of users navigating your site totally in the dark. So, who are they?
We're going to unpack this by telling the story of two users. They couldn't be more different, but you're about to see just how similar they really are when it comes to what they need from your site.
Okay, so on one side, you've got a person using a screen reader. They experience your site one piece at a time, sequentially, like a story being read out loud. On the other side, you've got an AI agent. Think of a shopping bot or a search crawler. It doesn't listen. It instantly creates a full blueprint of your page, trying to understand how everything connects. One is linear, the other is holistic, but both of them are desperate for the same thing: a clear, logical structure.
So let's start with the user we really should all be building for already. Because honestly, once you get the foundation of human-centered accessibility right, the whole rest of this puzzle just clicks into place. And at the very core of that is alt text. Now, we're not just talking about describing what an image is, like a bar chart. It's about describing what it means. What's its purpose? Alt text is the bridge that carries the entire point of your visual content over to someone who can't see it. Without that bridge, huge chunks of your website are basically just a void.
And when that bridge is missing, the experience isn't just a little annoying, it's incredibly frustrating. Research shows these are the big pain points. Just imagine trying to make sense of a crucial data dashboard where the charts are just silent, empty gaps, where the page structure completely changes every time you click a link. It's not an inconvenience, it's a dead end.
This quote from an MIT study just hits so hard. It gets right to the core of it. This isn't some abstract technical problem about code validation. It's about making people feel included, valued. When your site is inaccessible, you're telling a whole group of people that they don't matter. That's the real human cost.
All right, let's switch gears. It's time to meet the web's newest resident. It doesn't have feelings, it doesn't get frustrated, but as you'll see, what it needs from your website is, well, it's going to look really, really familiar.
And this isn't some far-off futuristic idea. No, this is happening right now as we speak. AI agents are crawling your site. They're Google's bots trying to index your content. They're personal shopping assistants hunting for deals. They are your new, invisible, and very powerful users.
Now, take a look at these pain points. Does this list ring a bell? It should. It's almost identical to the last one. AI agents get tripped up by the exact same things. A chart without context is just a bunch of random pixels. Vague links like "click here" are useless. Inconsistent layouts are confusing. It's the same problems, just for a different kind of user.
This deep similarity, well, it is not a coincidence. It's actually a really powerful principle in action, and it reveals how solving a problem for one specific group can end up having these massive, unexpected benefits for everyone.
It's called the curb cut effect, and you've seen it a million times in the real world. You know those little ramps at the corner of a sidewalk? They were originally created specifically for people in wheelchairs. That was the whole reason.
But who uses them today? Literally everyone. Parents pushing strollers, delivery people with dollies, travelers hauling luggage, skaters, cyclists, the list goes on and on. One feature, designed for one group, made the sidewalk better for a much, much larger one.
And here it is, the big reveal. The exact same thing is happening on the internet. Web accessibility is the digital curb cut. All that work you do to create a structured, semantic, and predictable website for assistive technology, it turns out to be the perfect roadmap for artificial intelligence.
Okay, so that's the why. That's the big idea. Now, let's get into the fun part, the how. What are the actual practical things that you, as a developer, can do to start building these digital curb cuts today?
It really starts with the fundamentals. First, use semantic HTML properly. I mean, actually using tags like header, nav, and article for what they were made for. This isn't just good practice. It's about giving your page a logical blueprint that machines can read. Then, you level up. You add a layer of structured data using things like schema.org. This is where you get explicit. You're not just hoping the AI figures it out, you're telling it, hey, this is a product, this is the price, and here's a review. You're turning your web page into a database.
But for really complex stuff, like data charts, we have to go even deeper. Researchers at MIT came up with this amazing 4-level model. Check it out. Levels 1 and 2 were the basic facts. What kind of chart is it? What's the highest value? A machine can figure that out on its own. But levels 3 and 4, that's where the real meaning is. Level 3 is about the patterns you would see, and level 4 is the big takeaway, the so what behind the data. That's the stuff that requires actual interpretation.
And of course, cool new tools are popping up to help with this. Take Matplotlib, for example. It's a system that's designed to generate these super rich, multi-level descriptions for charts. It uses a mix of direct data analysis for the factual stuff and AI models to help describe the more complex trends. It's a way smarter approach than just an empty alt tag.
But, and this is a huge but, using AI for accessibility is a total double-edged sword. On one hand, the promise is massive. You get efficiency, consistency, even SEO benefits. But the danger is just as real. AI descriptions can be way too simple, miss the whole point. Or worse, they can hallucinate, which is a nice way of saying they just make stuff up. And for a user who depends on that description, that's not just an error, it's a complete betrayal of trust.
The American Foundation for the Blind has a fantastic, if chilling, name for this problem: automated inclusion. It's the danger of just using an algorithm to check a box. You get the appearance of being accessible without doing the real work to actually be accessible. It's all for show.
So, where does that leave us? What does all this mean for the future of the web that we are all building right now? I think it points to a really fundamental shift in how we need to think about our jobs.
Let's wrap this all up. Building an accessible website is no longer just about compliance, or even just about doing the right thing. It's one of the most strategic things you can do. It makes your site stronger, way more discoverable by search engines, and it gets you ready for a future where AI agents aren't just visitors, they are first-class citizens of the web.
Which really leaves us with one final, kind of provocative question to chew on. In a world that's becoming more and more driven by AI, a world where agents are browsing for us, if your website is just a black box of unstructured, undescribed content, does it even really exist at all?